Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of The Holland Hut. I'm Leticia.
I'm Raphael.
And today we are making...
We're going to be making a tuna steak with some eggplant chips, a salsa verde, carrot and asparagus pickle, and a shallot sauce. So to start with your tuna, this is going to be a sesame crusted tuna. So I've got some egg whites here that have been whipped. I'm just going to lightly brush the tuna with the egg whites. Meanwhile, Ticia, can you start on that carrot and asparagus pickle, please?
You need this, sesame seeds.
Yes, please. So we're going to be using sesame seeds. I like to do 50% white sesame seeds, 50% black, but I couldn't get my hands on any today. So with this tuna, you really just want to dab your brush all around the sides as well. So for the tuna, after you've brushed it with the egg white, you want to do it very light. So we're just going to sharpen our knife. And we're also just going to lightly score. You want about 2 to 3 little scores.
What's the point of the scoring?
It keeps it, the moisture out of it, because when you cook a wet meat or a thick meat, especially tuna, the moisture drains out of it. So when you score it, it creates a crispy layer. Carry on.
So for the pickle, your asparagus, you're going to want to clip the ends because this is bitter.
Woody.
Inedible. You can tell I'm not the main person of this savoury. That's right. You want to do it thinly, don't you?
Yeah, so we're going to do strips of asparagus. With this sesame crusted tuna, you're going to do your sesame seeds over the top. You just want to coat it. And after you've done that, we're going to get our zester and a lemon. We're just going to zest lightly over the sesame seeds. Now, if you just pat that in, that will stick to the egg white where you put your sesame seeds on.
Is this gas bottle not going to run out?
No.
Okay. This is getting increasingly difficult. You know what we really could have used? You know those things they use in MasterChef? Those peeler things you go... You know, with the beetroot? Well, that looks pretty.
I need to shut up now. Stop talking. So, we're going to pair the tuna with eggplant chips. Now, you can do this in a very, very short amount of time just with the eggplants and the tuna. So, the less time you have, the thinner you slice your eggplants.
Because I thought peeling could be so darn difficult. It's a thick asparagus. How do I know where to clip it? There.
Where it comes naturally. So if you're clipping it, it will just clip off. If you hold it at the end of the asparagus and in the middle, it will clip off naturally. So now I've got my asparagus chips.
It just keeps breaking.
So for your eggplant chips, we just got some... For these eggplant chips, we have a little bit of olive oil. Lightly colour them. Got some.
Sorry.
So we just got some salt and pepper here. We're using a smaller type of eggplant because the big ones are a bit too bitter. And this one, it just takes a lot less time to cook.
If you've got a fruit diet, you're just like constantly on the loop.
Yeah, pretty much. So now that our pan is hot, we're just going to lightly do it with olive oil. Now, there's no point of putting your eggplants in when the pan is cold, because then they just become soggy and they all just kind of collapse and they go all mushy, especially if you try to turn them around with a spatula. So now that we've done that, we're going to move on to, after a couple of minutes or even seconds, because this is on such a high heat, just going to flip all of your eggplants.
Those are awesome.
Mm,
Are they going to be too oily on those?
no. Because we're gonna put them over the top with a bowl. So if you just put all your eggplants together in a little pile with the plate that you oiled with, press the eggplant down and lift up. That will kind of create heat. So it's kind of like a little oven. So you can do this with a bowl on the top. So after that, you just let them fry. Again, you can put these in just plain oil and then remove them and put them on Scotch towel.
Oh my goodness.
It's alright.
No, it's not, Raph. My heart nearly stopped. That is not alright.
Sorry, I had a little bit of issue.
Okay. Can I eat this?
Whatever you do, I'm gonna edit.
Can I do the editing?
Nope.
Why not?
You're crap and you haven't been in this experience for a while.
What? I missed one episode. Because I was taking a
And that's
nap.
the only one we're gonna upload. So. No, you
What?
were taking a nap, by the way.
Was I not?
No,
That's not fair.
it is. You could have cancelled.
That's not how it works.
Yes, it is.
I cannot cancel.
I don't go anywhere, so you can't really get me back.
I wasn't intending to get you back.
Shame. But our aubergines are about 70% there. See, you want colouring on them, but you don't want the edges burnt. Because there's quite a thick skin on the eggplant. You really just want to thin that down. So I recommend about flecking them every minute or so. Alright, so I've got a couple of eggplants here that are ready to come off. I've got some Scotch towel in this bowl, just to soak up all the oil so they don't become greasy.
Okay, for the pickle, you're going to want balsamic vinegar and olive oil, ginger and garlic. Now that I've cut my peeled my ginger, I'm going to dice it very finely so that you don't get massive taste of ginger or garlic, to be fair.
So for our shallot sauce, this is going to be the same sauce that I showed you guys in the steak video. But for the shallots, we're just going to finely slice them. Not too thin, otherwise they go soggy and they overcook. The finger roll, 2 fingers in the back, 1 finger in the front. Put your knuckle resting against the blade. That knuckle will serve as a protector so you don't slice a finger off. From past experience.
Okay, so for the pickle dressing, I've already put balsamic and olive oil, so now I'm just going to put soy sauce. Just go freehand, don't go crazy. There's no real measurements, I don't think, anyway.
Alright, so you're going to heat up a little bit of oil, just a tiny bit, the tiniest amount of olive oil.
Okay, the lids come off with it, so we're just going to do a splash of rice white vinegar.
In case you're wondering why I got plates, it's so windy out here that I need plates to keep my gas fire going. So now that our pan is heated up, let the shallots saute for about a minute. You just want the most tiniest amount of colour on them. Don't want a lot.
Can you cut open? That smells amazing.
What?
Bit of fish sauce after the bit of splash of rice wine vinegar.
Alright, so we've got a garlic bulb here. We're just going to crush it. Get a couple of garlic cloves out. Bash them with your knife. Just put our plates back up. It's getting very windy out here.
We have like a... that'll do.
Crush another garlic clove. Just gonna add a little bit of thyme. Just give it the extra flavour. Just want to stir that up now.
Okay, it's optional, but you can put a chili in your pickle. Just cut it in half and then chop.
We're gonna put a little bit of butter in, just to saute those shallots.
Really use a high table. If any table companies want to send us a table, hello. Okay, and then you chop the chili, you pop it in. Final toss. Don't think I'm missing anything. Hope it tastes good. Time to taste, folks.
Not locked in properly. Tastes weird, doesn't it?
Tastes flipping delicious.
Alright, so now our butter's melted. Just want to mix that into the thyme, garlic and shallots. Because this sauce is going to take quite a while, we're going to leave the tuna till last. The internal temperature should maybe be about 125. If you haven't got an internal temperature, check out. You can do 2 to 3 minutes each side. Because this is a very thick tuna steak, it will take quite a long time. If you're looking for medium rare, you don't want it all the way cooked through, I recommend about 1.5 to 2.5 minutes. So
Tartar sauce. It's not tartar, is it? It's salsa verde. My bad, salsa verde. What you're going to need are pickles, mustard, preferably Dijon, parsley and olive oil. So you're going to take your parsley and you're going to chop it relatively fine. Isn't that what you said? I don't remember. We'll go with it. Oh no, no. Okay, we have an issue. The parsley's flying everywhere.
it's not my problem.
Okay, so you're going to battle the wind and chop your parsley at the same time. Where's the knife?
Catch a bit of wind, my friends.
Straight. Okay, pickles chopped. You pop them in there.
Right now, I'm just going to add the beef stock.
Take a tablespoon. Sort of half of that should be mustard. Don't go crazy. It's not something you want to overdo.
So with this, our gas cooker isn't really working, so instead we're just going to let that whiskey simmer off. I've got some vegetable stock here. Just going to pour about 1/4 cup in vegetable stock. You're going to let it simmer for about 2 minutes to 3 minutes.
Okay, you're going to want 1 clove of garlic for your salsa. Just crush it and then chop.
In case you're wondering why I'm doing this, our gas cooker is very bad. So.
Mainly because it's for camping. I can't stand it, Raf. I can't. Please stop doing that. Or get a bigger plate. Make sure you chop your garlic finely because you don't want a massive chunk of it. Tastes good.
It's a bit of freshness though. The whole point of adding the vegetable stock is that vegetable stock is quite sweet. Excuse me. Vegetable stock is quite not sweet. It's very salty, and
I need half of that for zesting.
And the sweetness from the shallots kind of balances out, but you need a bit of acidity. So I'm just adding a couple of squeezes of lemon juice because it's a bit rich. This is quite a rich sauce, but because you have the lemon zest on the tuna, you have the eggplants, which are a little bit bitter. It really gives it a nice flavour. So I've added a little bit of lemon juice. Try that. Bloody amazing.
You also want to put
It's
a bit
better
of...
without flambe.
Need to simmer it off still a bit.
I know, you can still taste a bit of whiskey.
I'm just zesting a bit of lemon for acidity. Citrus.
I'm going to add a little bit of chili just for a little bit of heat. Just a couple of pieces. Because this is more of a Thai Oriental inspired dish. Add a little bit of heat. As that simmers, the seed from the chili will start to open up, and they will, because that's where the most flavour and heat is out of the whole chili, and that will open it up and give it all the nice heat.
So I've just popped some salt and pepper in there along with the zest, and now I'm putting olive oil and lemon juice.
To my sauce, I had a little bit of that raw whiskey in the background. I just let it simmer for a little bit more. Needs a little bit more acidity. Just put a couple more squeezes of lemon juice.
Okay, the salsa verde's done. It's not much. Normally you'd have a lot more than that, but tastes alright. I'd go less mustard than that. Anyway, there's your mustard, which was salsa verde, and then your pickle. Just curling down.
So now I'm just gonna strain off my sauce. Well, not really strain. I'm still gonna keep the shot, so you can strain it if you like. It's just that I find even after you have put it into a bowl, it still carries on brewing, but you can still strain it if you like. Right, so put your searing hot right now. Add the most tiniest amount of olive oil, because what the tuna is, it's a very, very, very lean meat, and once you've added the sesame seeds, that kind of protects the meat, but as you leave it on for a couple of minutes, it starts to add that leanness. Again, you can get a different cut of tuna steak. I find this one is the nicest one, it's the easiest to cook. So we're just going to shake off all those excess sesame seeds. Now you want to hear a little bit of a crackle, but not too much. So I've got a timer here for 2.5 minutes each side. Again, you don't have to use an internal temperature checker. I just like to use it to keep track. Just going to add a little bit more olive oil. Again, if you add olive oil, as I was saying, the cold olive oil or the room temperature olive oil, it cools down the pan. That will stop the heat from coming through. So I'm just going to put some of my sesame seeds on a plate. Now this is, like I said before, we zested the lemon, so this is kind of like a lemon sesame seeds, if you will. So it's time to flip this. I said before how the tuna is very lean. I'm just going to add a little bit of butter in there, because this applies really to any lean meat. Like if you have, for example, a beef pork or anything really, that kind of just lifts it up a whole lot more. So we're going to add a bit more lemon zest, because it's kind of exactly like the same as a beef steak. It loses quite a lot of its seasoning, and that seasoning is in the lemon zest and in the sesame seeds. Now, you don't want to burn your sesame seeds. I'm going to stress this a lot, because when you burn your sesame seeds, they become absolutely disgusting, because they are so bitter and burnt. Now, if you are going to toast them, do them in a dry pan. What we're doing here is we're just trying to fry it. I'm just going to check the internal temperature. As I said, it's around 123 to 125. Yeah, so mine is at not 90, so we still need to cook that for quite a while now. Alright, so for plating, I've got the end, well actually it's an in-between of the spring onion, so I've got the midsection between the top and the bottom. I find this is a nice colour contrast. So I'm going to slice it in half again until you have 2/4, and very finely slice. So as I said before, this is a Asian Oriental sort of inspired dish. So I'm just going to put a little bit of soy sauce into my pan sauce that I did before with the shallots. I'm going to put some cracks of pepper on top of that those sesame seeds. So now that our spring onions, or scallions, whatever you want to call them, are done, I have a little black pepper on the top. That's going to add heat. Yeah, see now my sesame seeds are becoming a little bit more golden. There's some nice charring around it, and you will definitely see, I really want to stress this, it has to be grey round the sides. Otherwise that is just kind of like raw meat. I'm going to flip it once more time.
Oh, wow. Do you want me to bring the camera in?
Sure.
Show what it should look like.
Since we only lemon zested and black peppered the first side, we black peppered and lemon zested the first side. We're going to do that a second time. Just a couple of crates of black pepper. Now, a couple of squeezes of lemon juice in the pan. See that really nice colour on the sesame seeds? We're going to add some more butter. And it's okay if the butter changes colour. It's just that it's picking up all the flavour from that, a little bit of burnt lemon juice and all the toasted sesame seeds. Put that on the top. See now if you see those sesame seeds are kind of baked, I'm just going to check the internal temperature. You need to leave it in there for a couple of seconds because this pan is always getting hotter and hotter. The temperature will take quite a while, so you want it to reach 123. Not 118. It has to be 123 or maybe even 122, but it has to reach at least 122. This is where it gets a bit hard because you don't want your sesame seeds to fall off, but you still want to sear those ends. So you put the back of the pan This will also roll the sesame seeds. So I'm going to put that onto the board to rest. We're just going to heat up the eggplant chips a bit. Toast a couple more sesame seeds. Turn your gas off. So you want a razor sharp knife, because if you slice that tuna and your knife is blunt, it's just gonna buckle up and it's all gonna go very not nice. See, that's just a well done. I was either looking for medium rare. I quite like my tuna well done. Some people like it a little bit pink in the middle.
I prefer pink.
So we're going to put in. bit of the pickle onto the middle of the plate. The steak with the knife. Draw it onto the pickle and let it show the inside. See how juicy that is, how the juice just pours out. See, as you added that lemon juice in the butter, it kind of just made it more moisture in it. See all those juices at the bottom, just spread them on the top like that. Now with our eggplant chips, put them on there like you're replacing the skin. So, sprinkle a couple of spring onions onto the top of the eggplants. Get your salsa verde. Because salsa verde goes so much nicer with the lean tuna, and it's a bit fatty because of the olive oil. Just spread it across like that. Now get your sauce, the pan sauce. Now this is, you can add a bit more lemon juice just to make it some more acidic. I've also added some more dried chili flakes. Give it a couple of cracks of pepper. Now pick up a few shallots. Place them on top, strain off the liquid, and pour over the top. And then take a carrot, twirl it up into a little bun, place it around about 3 points of the plate. You should have these carrot buns. A little bit more salsa verde on the top there.
And then sprinkle with sesame seeds, because why the heck not?
Alright.
Thank you guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Can I ask what was in there?
Nothing.
Oh. Okay, just don't do it, Raph. Don't. No, take it down, take it down, take it down.
Right, we're gonna redo that because you just ruined it.
Stop editing me out. Alright? This may cause motion sickness, but you need to see what's in the pan. So. Can't see this.